Hello, friends, strangers, and mostly you INFJs. I see you. Welcome back, and today I want to continue with my series about the 8 cognitive functions. And so today I want to speak about introverted intuition. And it's a function that I use myself as my dominant function as an INFJ. So it's been a little bit more difficult for me to actually record this video about introverted intuition because although I use this function, I use it so unconsciously that I still find it difficult to understand exactly how it works. So let's get into it. Introverted intuition, otherwise known as NI, is a perceiving function used to learn and gather information, which it then sort of uses to form patterns in order to understand the world, understand reality. So it's a learning style, it's a way of understanding the universe or the world. So introverted intuition uses advanced pattern recognition that allows them to sort of watch their own brains form patterns. So people who use NI are constantly watching their brain form patterns, impressions, and uh, and yeah, they're very self-aware in that way. Um, so this function of introverted intuition is used as a dominant function by the INFJ and the INTJ personality types, and it is an auxiliary function for the ENFJ and the ENTJ personality types. So those are the 4 types that use it in the top cognitive function stack. And this makes these people very future oriented. Um, they tend to have difficulty staying in the present moment because they're so focused on different possibilities, future outcomes, and they don't like to be too distracted from that. Like they like to have a plan and sort of stick to it. Um, Introverted intuition gathers sensory data subconsciously, so it's almost as if it happens to them. This information, they don't think like normal people. Introverted intuition users tend to think in the form of symbols, images, um, uh, dreams, and these random epiphanies or aha moments that just sort of hit them out of nowhere at very random times, such as when they're in the shower or driving in the car. So it's not a conscious thinking process. It's just it's a way of understanding things, but it's as if this information comes from somewhere else. So this is why these this function is so complex and poorly understood. I mean, even Carl Jung himself was a dominant introverted intuitor, and he spent a long time trying to understand this function and how it works. Um, Basically, this function, people who use this function are able to sort of gather information and then synthesize very complex patterns, and therefore they're able to reconcile seemingly paradoxical or contradictory concepts and ideas into a sort of universal system of understanding, which is very cool, I think. Unfortunately, it is quite a rare function, so these people tend to feel misunderstood very often, and there aren't that many people that use this function, so it's not reflected back to them very well. So it can be a struggle for dominant introverted intuition users to develop this function. Mm. It's also nicknamed, introverted intuition is often nicknamed perspectives because um, these introverted intuition users are able to shift perspectives when they're around different people in different situations, and therefore gain a deeper understanding of the core issue by sort of simulating how something is going to pan out. They're able to very quickly grasp what the implications are of any given action, and therefore they can be very insightful and seem very wise. They can sometimes seem magical and mystical, as if they have psychic abilities to some other types who don't use this function. But there is, however, a rational and logical way of explaining how they gain the information that they seem to just know out of nowhere, even though they can't really explain it as yet. So I believe that this function really does tap into the collective unconscious, because if we watch ourselves form patterns so often, we're constantly watching our own brains form patterns, we're also able to understand how other people's brains form patterns. I guess that's probably why we're so interested in these kind of systems, because we naturally perceive patterns in people and how they think, and therefore are able to predict their behaviors and understand them on a very deep level. So they have this amazing foresight, and they have this over time, especially because this is an introverted function. It develops over time. It's not like extroverted intuition, which happens in real time and is able to branch out into all these different possibilities, but instead it is able to reconcile very complex dichotomies and solve conflicts between large groups of people who seem to be disagreeing, but yet they're agreeing. It's just they're seeing it from different perspectives. So NI is quite good at recognizing this and then helping those people come to a mutual understanding.